What was the impact of the Telecommunications Act of 1996? Have you ever wondered how the way we communicate changed so dramatically in the 1990s? The Telecommunications Act of 1996 played a major role in that transformation. This act significantly reshaped the telecommunications industry in the United States. Its main goal was to increase competition, especially in local telephone markets that had been dominated by a few companies for many years. Before this act, local telephone services were largely monopolized. The act made these monopoly franchises illegal for local exchange carriers. This opened the door for new competitors, known as competitive local exchange carriers, to enter the market alongside the established regional bell operating companies. The idea was that more competition would lead to lower prices for consumers and spur innovation among service providers. From a capitalist viewpoint, the act aimed to reduce government barriers and encourage growth driven by market forces. It sought to speed up the rollout of advanced broadband networks across the country. This meant consumers could access voice, data, graphics, and video over high-speed connections. The act aligned with the principles of capitalism, where competition drives innovation and investment. However, the implementation of the act was not without its challenges. While competition did increase, with competitive local exchange carriers growing from servicing 1% to nearly 7% of local telephone lines within 2 years, the market remained highly concentrated. By 2001, firms controlled 95% of local service. This concentration limited the effectiveness of the act in promoting the widespread competition that was intended. Regulatory provisions required incumbent telephone companies to share their networks with new rivals at regulated rates. While this was meant to create a level playing field, it sometimes discouraged investment and innovation. Companies found themselves focusing on legal disputes and lobbying rather than competing in the market. This regulatory environment led to job losses in the sector and slowed growth, which goes against the ideals of capitalism that favor market efficiency. Despite these setbacks, the act did stimulate significant capital investment in broadband infrastructure. Between 1996 and 2014, broadband providers invested around $1.4 trillion in upgrading and expanding their facilities, allowing both telephone and cable companies to offer broadband and video services created new comparative pressures. This encouraged technological advancements and improved consumer options over time. In practical terms, the Telecommunications Act of 1996 marked a shift from a regulated monopoly model to a more competitive market structure. This change was in line with capitalist goals of promoting competition and innovation. However, the balance between regulation and market freedom proved to be delicate. While the act opened markets and encouraged investment, regulatory constraints and industry consolidation limited the full realization of competitive benefits. The experience shows that the telecommunications sector thrives best when property rights are respected and regulatory interventions are carefully managed to avoid stifling innovation and growth.